Sean Hannity, a media behemoth and one of the most well-known conservative voices in the United States, has been in the public eye for a considerable amount of time. An intense amount of attention has been paid to Sean Hannity's life from the time he began his career as a talk radio celebrity in the 1990s until the time he became one of the primary anchors on Fox News. Nevertheless, in spite of his prominence, he was able to maintain his private life a complete mystery until the year 2020, when he filed for divorce from Jill Rhodes, his wife of over 20 years, to the general population. There were a lot of people who followed him who were shocked by the statement. In spite of the fact that they had been married for more than 26 years, Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes were recognized as a reliable and trustworthy couple. Although they made very few public appearances together, Hannity's meteoric rise in the media industry was widely regarded as the product of a dependable and unassuming partnership between the two of them. On the other hand, when information became public, it became abundantly evident that their marriage had been steadily deteriorating for a number of years. And what happened after that? And what was the trigger for Sean Hannity's decision to quit his long-term relationship with a reliable partner? Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes are two individuals whose lives intersected in a manner that had a profound influence on both of their personal lives, as well as Sean's meteoric ascent to fame. The fact that Hannity's marriage became well known does not change the fact that their individual stories demonstrate how their different upbringings shaped them. Sean Hannity was born in New York City on December 30th, 1961. However, he spent his childhood in Franklin Square, which is located on Long Island. Hannity was brought up in a household that was representative of the working-class Irish-American community. He was instilled with traditional values and a strong work ethic. While he was enrolled at Adelphi University and New York University for a brief period of time, he left before completing his degree in order to devote his time and energy to his passion for talk radio. Initially, Hannity worked as a general contractor and in the construction industry. However, due to his innate ability to argue and communicate, he was able to secure radio employment in the states of Alabama and California. Hannity's big break came when he began working as a radio announcer for WVNN in Huntsville, Alabama. This was the beginning of his career. His strong opinions, fiery rhetoric, and conservative comments catapulted him to the forefront of public consciousness almost quickly. This early success paved the way for him to become one of the most well-known voices in conservative media, which he has achieved throughout his career. When Hannity first joined Fox News in 1996, he was a co-host of the program Hannity and Combs, which was the program that brought him to the forefront of the national spotlight. Because of his unique combination of political insight and harsh criticism, he became a household character over the course of time, which contributed to the consolidation of his reputation. Jill Rhodes, on the other hand, went about her quest for success in a more modest manner. Rhodes, who was born in Alabama on August 27, 1962, attended the University of Alabama for his studies in journalism and graduated with a degree in the field for his accomplishments. Her first job was writing political pieces for the Huntsville Times, where she became well known for her insightful writing and astute insights. She commenced her career in this capacity. When Rhodes was working at the Huntsville Times, she was the one who first became acquainted with Hannity when she was there. When it came to political issues, Sean frequently inquired about her opinions and perspectives. Who was working as a radio broadcaster in the area at the time. Following the rapid transformation of their professional collaboration into a personal one, the couple tied the knot in the year 1993. While Rhodes attempted to shun the spotlight as much as possible, Hannity soared to popularity. Rhodes's primary focus was on taking care of their two children and managing the household. The fact that she was instrumental in maintaining Hannity's popularity in the early stages of his career is something that she is commonly credited for. Rhodes is not like Sean, who is known for his flamboyant and energetic career, because she places a high priority on her family and her preference for calm. Two personalities that are significantly different from one another but complement one another are shown by their unique paths. Despite this, after more than 20 years of marriage, they decided to take their steps in divorce. While Rhodes's calm strength and intelligence served as the foundation of their existence together, Hannity's ambition and outspokenness brought him popularity. Rhodes played a pivotal role in their relationship. Despite the fact that they proceeded in separate directions, the fact that their histories were complementary to one another also contributed to the formation of a partnership that lasted. What could possibly have caused such a powerful couple to end up divorcing at such a young age? Keep an eye out. Well, let's get started and find out. The beginning of their love affair was distinguished by a connection that was not only one of a kind but intriguing as well. It was characterized by respect, affection, and shared ideals. Rhodes' insightful writing and sharp mind drew Hannity's attention, even though they did not initially become acquainted with one another in person. Her work struck a chord with him, since it not only highlighted her exceptional journalistic talents, but it also demonstrated a worldview that was congruent with his own values and objectives. Hannity, who was impressed by Rhodes's brilliance, began making phone calls to her in order to establish a rapport with her, which ultimately resulted in the two of them falling in love. When their conversation shifted from being about business to being about personal matters, they were able to gain a more profound knowledge of one another. In a subsequent statement, Hannity stated that he fell in love with her immediately, describing the development of their relationship as a meeting of the minds that finally resulted in a memory. During the year 1991, Rhodes accepted Hannity's request to participate in a conversation that he was conducting about the mayor. At long last, the two individuals came face to face. Immediately following their first encounter, their friendship was cemented, which led to the rapid development of their relationship. The charm, humor, and self-assurance that Hannity exuded helped Rhodes' wit, intellect, and grounded demeanor to shine through significantly. Their conservative beliefs, which would later become a cornerstone of their family life, provided them with a basis that they could all agree upon. In 1993, Hannity and Rhodes participated in a wedding ceremony that reflected their individual yet significant perspectives on life. The ceremony was a wedding ceremony. The couple's wedding was not an extravagant affair, rather. It was a celebration of their shared love and commitment to one another. The union was a representation of a partnership between both parties, one that was founded on mutual support and shared principles. The presence of Jill Rhodes was a significant contributor to the development of Hannity's career. In her capacity as a journalist, she contributed intelligent critique, frequently supporting him in the process of developing his work. On numerous occasions, he lauded her for being a soothing presence in his life and a reliable advisor in his professional life. Hannity recognized her influence on multiple occasions. The marriage of the couple provided as an illustration of a cooperative partnership in which both sides placed a high priority on their family while also supporting one another's endeavors or objectives. Both a son and a girl were born to the marriage, and they were raised in a home that placed a strong emphasis on the importance of faith, family, and having a distinct sense of purpose. In spite of Hannity's hard career and public demeanor, the couple made an effort to find a balance between their lives. Rhodes spent a lot of time avoiding the spotlight so that they could focus on their family life. The first episodes of Hannity and Rhodes's show. Marriage demonstrates the power of mutual respect, shared ideals, and support for one another in a healthy relationship. They were able to establish the foundations of a wonderful connection that was built on love, admiration, and shared goals throughout their early years together. Despite the fact that during the course of their marriage, they eventually encountered challenges that led to their divorce in the year 2020. Hannity has recognized that Jill was an important contributor to his early career, as she assisted him in refining his arguments and even provided him with recommendations and advice for his radio broadcasts. Jill was known as Sean's Rock, aiding him behind the scenes while he balanced a demanding media career that included anchoring a primetime Fox News program and a nationally syndicated radio show. Despite the fact that Jill remained mostly out of the spotlight, she was recognized as being Sean's rock. However, the demands of notoriety and a high public career began to strain a relationship, even for a couple who made a strong effort to have a low profile. This was the case even if the couple kept their public persona modest. Having previously laid a basis in mutual understanding and respect for one another. Where did things go wrong? The connection between Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes begins on a solid basis of respect and common principles. But just like in many other long-term couples, disagreements gradually developed, which ultimately led to their breakup in the year 2020. Hannity's demanding high-profile profession was one of the primary factors that contributed to the strain that was placed on their marriage. Because of his position as a well-known radio and television presenter, Hannity is required to maintain a demanding work schedule that frequently involves long hours and extensive travel. Rhodes, who preferred a life that was less hectic and more focused on family, naturally moved away from him as a result of this issue. Over the course of time, a divide emerged between them as a consequence of their divergent lives and objectives. The couple apparently lived their lives in a manner that was distinct from one another for a number of years prior to their official separation. Due to the fact that they are putting on a united front for the sake of their two children, they emphasize their responsibilities as parents over the challenges that they are experiencing in their marriage. The couple's acquaintances said that the separation was amicable and based on a mutual realization that they had been alienated over the course of time. This was despite the fact that they had become estranged from one another. Another significant element was Hannity's public persona, which was known to be controversial. Due to the fact that he was one of the most well-known conservative voices in the media, his work was regularly the subject of criticism and controversy. Even though Rhodes avoided the spotlight for the most part, the constant attention and criticism that was directed against Hannity may have had an indirect impact on their relationship, despite the fact that they parted ways. This allowed Rhodes and Hannity to successfully co-parent their children while maintaining their mutual support for one another. In spite of the fact that they made the decision to part ways as a couple, the fact that they divorced amicably demonstrated that they were committed to ensuring that their home remained a joyful environment for their family. Their story serves as a reminder of the challenges that come with balancing personal and professional duties, particularly when one is confronted with the requirements of public scrutiny. According to a number of stories, after a particularly difficult period of time during Sean's coverage of the Trump administration, at long last, the Hannity family's relationship came to an end. Due to the fact that Hannity is one of the most vocal and devoted supporters of Trump, he has garnered a lot of attention due to his close relationship with the previous president. The increased attention from the public is thought to have had a negative impact on the couple's relationship, according to the hypothesis. Jill reportedly found it stressful to be associated with someone who was so contentious in public, as reported by various sources. According to many people who are close to the family, Jill experienced a growing sense of isolation from Sean's world as a consequence of the demands made by the media and the political system. It has been reported by an insider that Hannity's career reached its pinnacle during the election cycle of 2016, but it is possible that his personal connections have suffered as a result of the significant disagreement that occurred between the couple. It is believed that this event marked the beginning of the end for their marriage. However, the facts of the situation are still unknown at this time. Despite the challenges that they faced, Sean and Jill were able to conceal the fact that they had broken up for a number of years. In the joint statement that they issued in the year 2020, they confessed that they had been separated for a period of time and that they had come to an amicable decision over their separation. One of the people who was close to the family at the time stated that Sean and Jill are dedicated to cooperating with one another in order to provide the greatest possible outcomes for their children. Moreover, 4 years ago, Sean and Jill reconciled their differences and came to an understanding. It was consistent with the way that they had managed their union that they decided to end their marriage in a manner that was both amicable and discreet. It seemed as though Sean and Jill continued to place a great priority on concealing the particulars of their private lives from the general public even after they had divorced. In light of his public stature and the responsibility he has toward the media, how did Sean Hannity handle the aftermath from this situation? The news of Hannity's divorce was made public, which led to speculation over the impact that his personal life would have on his professional reputation. Despite the fact that he remained to be a major figure in conservative media, there were many who considered the possibility that the stress of his divorce would have an effect on his career. On the other hand, Hannity appeared unimpressed. It appeared like the years that passed following his split added to the load that he was carrying. The media star's acquaintances have stated that their friend, during a time when he was going through a difficult time in his personal life, he submerged himself even further in his career, utilizing it as a way of distraction and a source of stability. Jill Rhodes, on the other hand, has managed to keep her privacy preserved by avoiding the public eye and focusing on the obligations that come with being a mother. Her desire to keep her private life apart from the well-known job of her ex-husband is highlighted by the fact that she has not mentioned the divorce in any interviews or public remarks. Following the conclusion of their divorce in the year 2020, Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes began a new phase in their lives that centered on redefining their roles as parents, co-parenting couples, as well as individuals who are traveling dissimilar yet related roads. Even though they have broken up, they have shown that they are committed to maintaining a cooperative and respectful way of life for themselves and their two children, as well as providing stability for them. They made a mature decision to embrace personal growth and liberty rather than a harsh parting, which resulted in the end of their marriage that lasted for 25 years. Due to the fact that Hannity and Rhodes had obviously been living separate lives for a number of years previous to publicly filing their divorce, the transition to life after the divorce was more of a formal recognition of their various paths than it was a startling change. By gradually separating themselves from one another, they were able to adjust to their new circumstances in a manner that was more amicable. For Hannity, the era following his divorce meant that he continued to devote himself to his journalistic career, which was still quite demanding. He continues to be the host of Hannity on Fox News and the Sean Hannity Show on radio, both of which continue to be his primary emphasis. In the meantime, Hannity has also brought attention to the obligations that come with being a father and has made an effort to be involved in the lives of his children. In spite of the pressures that come with holding a highly famous position, it appears like Hannity continues to devote more time to cultivating his relationship with his children, which has become more profound. While Hannity's professional life is still generally known, his personal life has stayed relatively quiet, so minimizing his exposure to public scrutiny and criticism. This is despite the fact that his professional life is publicly recognized. Once the divorce was finalized, Jill Rhodes, who has always been a fan of a low-key lifestyle, was able to maintain her concentration on her family and her solitude. Despite the fact that she does not participate in public activities, she has maintained a continuous presence in the lives of her children and has developed a strong connection with them. Rhodes's primary focus has been on establishing a stable and rooted environment within her family, while also promoting her religious beliefs and traditional values, both of which have always been significant aspects of her life. With a cooperative mindset, she continues to give the family with direction and support while simultaneously navigating the problems that come with shared parenting. One aspect of their lives after the divorce that is noteworthy is the seeming unity that they continue to maintain for their children. It has been asserted that Rhodes and Hannity are committed to co-parenting in a manner that fosters an environment that is loving and supportive of their children. They have built a relationship that has evolved into a partnership that is based on the promotion of their children's growth, education, and emotional well-being. This cooperative approach has been praised by others who are close to them as an example of good co-parenting following the collapse of their parenting relationship. In the aftermath of the divorce, social connections and sex actresses have been kept under wraps. Despite the fact that there have been periodic rumors in the media concerning Hannity's apparent new connections, he has never officially recognized or rejected any of them. It would appear that he is concentrating his emphasis on finding a middle ground between